Greetings. My name is Foemmel. I have prepared a short video here of a project that our family undertook in the church we grew up in, Zion Lutheran Church in Granton, Wisconsin. Roger was the leader in this. He thought we ought to renovate the Foemmel Headstone, and that's what we set out to do. This presentation will be a bit disjointed, but I'm going to try to cover these 4 points, give a little bit of an introduction and context, and then we'll go into the 3 other points. This picture was taken in September of 2023. We were at the cemetery. That's after Roger had renovated it, and we posed for some pictures. At the end, Roger just stuck his hands out and put it on each of our shoulders, and my wife took the picture, and that's the one we kept. As I said, this was a project to renovate the Foemmel Headstone in the cemetery at Zion Lutheran Church in Granton. Granton's a small village in Wisconsin. It had a population of about 300 people, and it was our home church for our grandparents and my dad, and mom, and for us. Here's a cemetery, partial picture of it. This cemetery is very dear to us. We have many loved ones buried there, friends. So it is very important to us. In Wisconsin, over time, the freezing and thawing raises these headstones up out of the ground. Their foundation actually moves up out of the ground, and they become unstable. Here you can see where the foundation has come up out of the ground, and if you look at that stone that's down the row a bit, it's uneven. That's what happens. They become unstable and uneven, and then they fall over and even break. Some of these have been in there for more than 100 years. The Foemmel one is probably 80 to 100 years old. I'm not sure how old it is. And also the plaques get weathered pretty badly and deteriorate and need to be cleaned up. So we set about renovating it. Roger was the one who suggested we do that, and he was willing to do the work, and Carol and I chipped in money for materials and pay for some of his time. It was a family project. Here you can see what was involved. Roger had to move those heavy stones off the foundation. Now, Roger has all that type of equipment. He is a construction guy and very capable to do just about anything. Once he moved it off, of course, he has to dig up the foundation. Here, I believe it's the old foundation that he's pulling out of the ground. And he dug it deeper. You can see he went probably a foot deeper. And he's going to make this one last. Roger, whatever Roger does, he does well. He doesn't skip corners. Now the foundation has been filled. He's built the form, and he'll pour the cement. And let's see what we got next area. The cement is poured, and later on the stones will be placed back on top of the slab. Of course, that isn't all the work. There's 4 of those plaques, and they needed to be dug up and cleaned up, and he did all that. You can see here where he's setting the forms for 2 of those. There's the finished product. Now with that headstone, our grandparents and great-grandparents are buried there. I never knew my Grandpa Foemmel. He died when my dad was about 5 years old. Grandma Foemmel who became Grandma's wife when she remarried. She's also buried there. As I said, the cemetery is very dear to us. Our parents, Alfred and Jessie, this is their headstone. And we got Uncle Raymond and Aunt Doris. Their headstone is also in that cemetery. There's many more relatives and friends. Now we're going to talk a little bit about my brother Roger, since without him this renovation wouldn't have taken place. Here he is. When he graduated from high school, he went into the Army. He served 2 terms in Vietnam. Over the years, he's been very active in helping vets, getting the care and benefits that they need. He's done a lot of work in the community. He's a great advocate for the veterans and for people that need help getting off of substance abuse. Here's a picture of our farmhouse. Roger was born in 1949, so I imagine this picture was taken in 1952. There he is looking up to me. That's no longer the case. He looks down. He's quite a bit taller than I am now. Here he is. We were farm kids. We grew up on the farm. We had a horse, bicycles. You can see them in the back. We had a pond where we went swimming. It was just a great place to live and grow up. I want to finish this video with expressing the gratitude for the church of my youth. I only have one picture, but I'm going to show for that. This is Vacation Bible School in 1950. I was 5 years old when this picture was taken. Some say a picture's worth 1,000 words. I could easily talk 1,000,000 words on this picture. I'll show you, identify a few of the people. That's me in the front row there. I was 5 years old. Carol is the second arrow. And when I grew up in Wisconsin, counting my siblings and myself and cousins, there were 31 of us. And 7 of the cousins are in this picture. Immediate to my left is Barbara. She was my age. And immediate to the right is Betty. Aunt Laura and Uncle Bill farmed about a mile away from us. Aunt Laura and Mom were sisters, and those kids had a jolly good time. Then our Uncle Raymond and Aunt Doris, who farmed a couple miles from us, had 3 cousins there. The first one is Janice, and then the twins, Joyce and Joanne. So that made up the cousins that were in that picture. At that time, in the Lutheran Church, confirmation was a big deal. I wasn't confirmed then. In 1959, I got confirmed, and I think my whole class, confirmation class, is here in this picture. Going from left to right, there's Gary Thur, myself, Virginia Garbage, Arlene Reich. I think those 2 girls were cousins. Then Mary Hughes, and then Jim Haas. Gary Thur and Jim Haas had passed. Gary was the pastor. I have nothing but gratitude in my heart that God placed me in that community, in that congregation, and with the parents I had. Sometimes we think we've accomplished a lot. We get pretty prideful in our accomplishments, but when you really think about it, we have very little to do with that. And I was very, very fortunate to be part of this church. That building in the back is the old sanctuary. It was torn down. In fact, our class was the last one to be confirmed in that sanctuary. A new one was built and opened in 1959. So that's my video. Again, I don't have the adequate words to express how much those people and how much care and guidance I got as a young man from teachers, playmates, the adults in the community. It was simply amazing. Thank you.